Welcome to Conspiracy Tapes, where we investigate the world's most baffling, unsolved mysteries. I'm your host, Ryan Martin, and today we're reopening one of the most perplexing cases in maritime history, a case spanning decades, involving multiple disappearances and challenging everything we think we know about physics. Imagine a crime scene covering thousands of square miles of Atlantic Ocean. The victims? Dozens of aircraft and vessels that simply vanished. The evidence? Scattered debris, unexplained radio transmissions, and witness accounts that defy logic. The suspects? Everything from natural phenomena to interdimensional portals. This is the Bermuda Triangle case file, and after 75 years, it remains stubbornly unsolved. Today, we're approaching this mystery like seasoned detectives, examining evidence methodically and tracking down suspects ranging from rogue ocean currents to quantum physics anomalies. At Scoob, our podcast studio thrives on the unexplained. Whether it's decoding ancient enigmas or diving into cutting-edge science, we bring logic, curiosity, and expert-curated content. Download now from App Store or Play Store and venture into unfolding the mysteries that may keep you up at night. The case is cold, but the trail is about to heat up. Every detective knows that understanding a crime starts with examining the evidence. In the Bermuda Triangle case, we have two particularly well-documented incidents that serve as our primary crime scenes, backed by official reports and detailed investigations that tell a story so bizarre it challenges everything we know about aviation accidents. Crime scene number 1, July 3, 1947. A military C-54 aircraft departs Bermuda on a routine cargo flight to Morrison Air Force Base in Florida. At the controls, Major Ralph Ward, a distinguished pilot with an exemplary service record. The plane never arrives. When investigators examine the evidence, they find scattered fragments, an oxygen bottle, and cabin paneling floating in the Atlantic. But here's where this case gets impossible. Despite detailed examination of radio communications and flight data, investigators discover that Major Ward had been flying off course from the moment he left Bermuda. Not gradually drifting off course, but immediately heading in the wrong direction as if he had no idea where he was supposed to be going. The kicker: no reported navigational problems during the flight. No distress calls, no equipment malfunctions, no indication this experienced pilot realized anything was wrong. Crime scene number 2, January 31st, 1948. The Tudor IV airliner Star Tiger, carrying 29 souls from London to Havana, approaches Bermuda for refueling. Captain B.W. McMillan radios at 3 a.m., slightly off course, nothing unusual. Ground control provides an updated bearing, the aircraft corrects heading, and McMillan reports arrival time of 5 a.m. That transmission becomes the last communication anyone ever receives from Star Tiger. When the aircraft fails to arrive, one of the largest search operations in aviation history launches. They have precise coordinates of Star Tiger's last position. They know exactly where to look. Yet, despite days of intensive searching, they find absolutely nothing. No debris, no oil slick, no life preservers. 29 people in a large airliner have simply vanished. The official investigation reaches conclusions that would make any detective's head spin. The Civil Air Ministry explicitly states the disappearance did not result from radio failure, navigation error, or fuel exhaustion. Instead, whatever happened occurred so rapidly that there was no time for distress signals. Weather was stable, no storms. Star Tiger should have been within 30 miles of Bermuda, close enough that finding the island should have been straightforward. The aircraft could have continued flying safely even with engine failures. Any detective looking at this evidence would conclude we're dealing with something unusual. Either a pattern of related incidents or a common factor investigators haven't identified. Now, we need to track down the suspects. Our first suspect has been fooling navigators for centuries with surgical precision. Meet the magnetic deceiver. Earth's magnetic field creating fundamental navigation problems. Your compass doesn't point to true north at the North Pole. Instead, it points to magnetic north, currently located on Prince of Wales Island in Canada, approximately 1,500 miles south of geographic North Pole. This creates compass variation, the angular difference between true and magnetic north. The Bermuda Triangle sits in one of the most deceptive regions on Earth for magnetic navigation. There's an imaginary line called the agonic line, where magnetic and true north appeared to align. When the Coast Guard documented this phenomenon, this line ran near Florida's east coast, but traveled just 50 miles from Miami to Bimini Island, and there's already a 2-degree westerly magnetic variation. In the Azores, there's a 24-degree difference between true and magnetic north. Miss that correction, and you could end up hundreds of miles off course. This suspect has a documented history in our crime scenes. Major Ward's C-54 never maintained its intended course, fitting magnetic deception perfectly. Captain McMillan's Star Tiger was off course when requesting that final bearing. But here's the alibi that complicates our case. The agonic line has drifted and now lies off Florida's west coast, beyond Key West, no longer within the triangle. If magnetic deception was our primary perpetrator, Disappearances should have moved with the line to the Gulf of Mexico. That didn't happen. Despite this shift, triangle disappearances persist in the same geographical area. While magnetic deception can explain how pilots might end up off course, it cannot explain complete disappearance of aircraft. A plane flying wrong direction due to compass confusion would eventually crash somewhere, leaving wreckage. So our magnetic deceiver is probably an accomplice rather than the mastermind. Something else is turning navigation confusion into complete disappearance. Our next suspect is capable of sinking ships instantly without warning. Meet the methane bomber, a geological suspect with explosive capabilities. This suspect's weapon is methane gas, specifically massive eruptions from methane clathrate deposits on the ocean floor. These crystalline structures form under specific conditions of low temperature and high pressure, typically found in deep ocean environments. When clathrate deposits destabilize due to temperature changes or geological activity, they release enormous quantities of methane gas in violent eruptions. The physics is devastatingly simple. When methane gas rises rapidly to surface, it dramatically decreases water density, eliminating buoyancy. According to experts like Dr. Judd, any vessel caught in methane-saturated water would sink swiftly, akin to an elevator plummeting down a shaft. Even people attempting to escape by diving would face the same fate. The gas-filled water loses its ability to support human bodies. The evidence for our methane bomber's presence in the triangle is substantial. Methane clathrates have been discovered throughout the region. At Blake Ridge, off the eastern United States, marine geologists have identified pockmarks from previous eruptions up to 700 yards wide and 30 yards deep, comparable to enormous lunar craters. Blake Ridge alone contains approximately 15 billion tons of methane in frozen state, with equal amounts trapped below. Estimates of total oceanic methane range from 1 to 10 trillion tons. The methane bomber has been witnessed in action. Clathrates occasionally appear at ocean surface, found in fishing nets that fizz violently as methane releases. In the Caspian Sea, Russian researchers reported clathrates erupting and igniting like massive blowtorches, producing flames hundreds of meters high. The bomber's operational pattern perfectly matches the triangle evidence. Sudden incidents. Methane eruptions are violent and rapid. No distress signals. Ships sink too quickly. No debris. Everything sinks in gas-saturated water. Geographic clustering, known methane deposit locations. This suspect explains how modern vessels operated by experienced crews can vanish in good weather. However, it primarily explains maritime disappearances. What about aircraft that vanish over these same waters? Our investigation focuses on a suspect operating at the ocean-atmosphere intersection, a deadly force that can appear without warning and destroy vessels with the power of a 10-story building moving at highway speeds. Meet the wave assassin, the rogue wave phenomenon. This suspect operates in the Gulf Stream, that massive oceanic superhighway dominating the Triangle region. The Gulf Stream creates continual extreme temperature fluctuations when cold currents wash over shallow, warm banks, and when cold and warm waters violently collide, resulting in fast-moving currents and massive swirling eddies. Dr. Hans Graber at the University of Miami is a leading expert on our suspect. He's identified exact conditions where rogue waves strike, and the Triangle possesses every dangerous characteristic. Regions near significant currents like the Gulf Stream, and areas leeward of islands. The Triangle contains hundreds, notably the Bahamas' 700-plus islands. The suspect has documented attack history. Dr. Graber recorded a massive wave striking Daytona Beach in 1994 under perfect weather conditions. In 1999, the cruise ship Europa was struck sideways by a rogue wave appearing from normal seas. Rogue waves can reach heights exceeding 100 feet, 10 stories of water moving at highway speeds. The wave assassin has accomplices making it more dangerous. The Gulf Stream creates massive eddies, giant whirling vortices creating intersecting currents. A vessel's captain unaware of entering such an eddy may suddenly encounter waves from multiple directions simultaneously. The North Wall phenomenon, identified by the Coast Guard, involves sudden increases in wind speed along the Gulf Stream's northern border, where sea temperatures shift sharply. When cooler air moves over narrow bands of warmer water, it heats rapidly and ascends. This rising air pushes colder air downward, creating strong surface winds escalating from calm to dangerous within minutes. For aircraft, this creates perfect storm conditions. Pilots may encounter sudden downdrafts, severe wind shear, and turbulence overwhelming even large aircraft. The wave assassin's method explains certain case evidence. These phenomena appear and disappear rapidly, leaving no trace. Ships or aircraft might be overwhelmed within seconds and sink so quickly no distress signal can be transmitted. However, this suspect primarily threatens surface vessels and low-flying aircraft. Many documented disappearances involve higher-altitude aircraft where rogue waves couldn't reach them. Our investigation ventures into invisible forces, encountering a suspect systematically increasing its presence in the Triangle for decades. Meet the electromagnetic manipulator, part natural phenomenon, part human-created monster. This suspect has grown stronger since World War II, coinciding with peak Triangle disappearance years. As technological capabilities expanded, radar, radio communications, electronic navigation, so did reports of anomalous Triangle phenomena. The electromagnetic manipulator operates on multiple levels. Natural phenomena like sunspots disrupt electromagnetic wavelengths across vast areas. But investigators haven't fully grasped how our technological emissions might amplify these natural forces. Consider the electromagnetic environment we've created. Every cell phone, satellite transmission, radar ping, Wi-Fi signal adds to invisible electromagnetic radiation that didn't exist a century ago. We've created an artificial electromagnetic layer overlaying Earth's natural magnetic field. Timing of incidents supports this theory. Many famous Triangle disappearances occurred during rapid electromagnetic technology expansion. the post-war era when radar, radio, and electronic navigation proliferated exponentially. This suggests our manipulator might be a hybrid threat, part natural anomaly, part technological interference. We might be inadvertently disrupting natural electromagnetic patterns, creating dangerous anomalies in regions like the Triangle, where Earth's magnetic field already exhibits unusual characteristics. Edgar Cayce spoke extensively about these dangers decades before our electromagnetic saturation. He described unidentified flying and submerged objects within the Triangle, buried ruins near Bimini, and universal forces resembling modern zero-point energy research. Cayce's Atlantis narrative provides chilling parallels. According to his readings, Atlantis destroyed itself through the misuse of crystal technology that amplified natural energy fields. The parallels to our civilization's dependence on quartz crystals and electronics are impossible to ignore. The electromagnetic manipulator might create triangle conditions going beyond navigation interference. If natural magnetic anomalies are amplified by artificial fields, results could include phenomena appearing to violate physical laws. This suspect's pattern fits the case evidence disturbingly. The triangle's magnetic variation problems could be amplified by technological interference, creating electromagnetic chaos, disrupting navigation and aircraft systems while preventing distress communications. Our investigation enters territory challenging scientific understanding foundations. We're examining a suspect so extraordinary that its existence would revolutionize physics, yet evidence suggests it might operate in the Triangle. Meet the dimension shifter. This suspect emerges from John Hutchison's work, over 750 experiments using the Pharos-type Hutchison apparatus. Results include phenomena violating basic physical laws, metal objects spontaneously fusing, items levitating, fires igniting spontaneously, and most relevantly, complete invisibility of metallic objects. Hutchison postulates that with appropriate device calibration, chronons and gravitons, hypothetical particles related to time and gravity, could potentially render entire buildings invisible. If such forces can be created artificially, triangle implications are staggering. Witnesses consistently express amazement at minimal electrical power, producing bewildering outcomes. Ordinary household outlets provide sufficient energy, leading researchers to theorize that true power lies in electromagnetic field interactions. However, understanding these field interactions remains enigmatic. Effects prove mystifyingly unpredictable. Researchers might wait days for observable outcomes, with 99% of attempts resulting in nothing. This unpredictability mirrors the triangle disappearances. Hutchison theorizes that object surfaces become agitated, causing atoms to foster unstable spacetime conditions, enabling electromagnetic fields to become entrapped in localized spacetime anomalies. Mark Solis proposes Hutchison may have accessed zero-point energy, energy detected by oscillations occurring even at absolute zero, where atomic activity should cease. Energy density within quantum vacuum is estimated at 10 to the power of 13 joules per cubic centimeter, enough to vaporize Earth's oceans instantly. If Hutchison can access these forces in laboratory conditions, what might happen if such conditions occurred spontaneously in nature? The triangle's unique combination of natural magnetic anomalies and artificial electromagnetic fields could create conditions for naturally occurring Hutchison effects. This suspect could explain the most baffling case evidence: complete absence of debris, atomic-level disintegration. No distress signals, rapid dimensional translation, thorough vanishings, transport beyond normal space-time. If vessels encounter naturally occurring dimension shifting, they wouldn't crash conventionally. They would cease to exist in our reality. After examining 5 suspects, we face the detective's ultimate question: which is the real perpetrator? But what if this isn't a single perpetrator case, but rather a conspiracy involving multiple suspects working together? Evidence suggests triangle power lies not in single phenomena, but in convergence of multiple suspects creating perfect storms of danger. Let's reconstruct how this conspiracy works. The magnetic deceiver creates initial vulnerability by confusing navigation, making vessels susceptible to other dangers. The hidden depths provide perfect cover for evidence disposal. The ocean can scatter debris across thousands of miles, or bury wreckage under crushing depths. The methane bomber strikes without warning, creating deadly zones where ships sink instantly. The wave assassin attacks with mountain-moving power, while Gulf Stream currents disperse evidence. The electromagnetic manipulator amplifies natural dangers while adding new threats, potentially triggering eruptions and disabling systems. The dimension shifter represents the conspiracy's most exotic member, potentially activated when other conditions align perfectly. This conspiracy explains triangle persistence despite individual factor changes. When the agonic line moved, magnetic deception decreased, but other conspirators continued operating. As electromagnetic technology advanced, that suspect strengthened, compensating for natural magnetic changes. Post-World War II timing supports this theory. Rapid electromagnetic expansion while understanding of ocean dynamics, methane deposits, and rogue waves remained rudimentary. We strengthened the electromagnetic manipulator while remaining ignorant of other suspects' capabilities. Geographic specificity makes sense as conspiracy intersection. The triangle sits where Gulf Stream turbulence, methane deposits, magnetic anomalies, and heavy electromagnetic traffic from military installations converge. No other region combines all factors so dramatically. Modern improvements have reduced disappearances. Suggesting better understanding helps us avoid conspiracy encounters. Satellite tracking, weather forecasting, and communications help detect individual suspects more effectively. The conspiracy accommodates all evidence while recognizing reality's complexity. Ships might encounter methane eruptions, while electromagnetic interference prevents distress signals. Aircraft might fly into space-time anomalies triggered by electromagnetic field convergence. After examining evidence and tracking suspects from natural phenomena to exotic physics, we reach where every detective files their final report. But the triangle case proves unlike any other investigation. Our case file demonstrates multiple suspects definitely operate in triangle waters. The magnetic deceiver confuses navigators. Hidden depths conceal evidence. The methane bomber creates instantly deadly conditions. The wave assassin operates Earth's most dangerous seas. The electromagnetic manipulator grows stronger as technology proliferates. Even the dimension shifter has laboratory evidence supporting potential existence. Evidence suggests these suspects often work together, creating conditions where individual threats combine into something far more dangerous. This conspiracy theory explains why triangle reputation persists despite individual factor changes and navigation improvements. But perhaps most important evidence concerns mystery-solving methodology itself. The triangle teaches that confronting unknown requires both rigorous investigation and intellectual humility. Dismissing phenomena based on unconventionality stifles progress, while accepting extraordinary claims without evidence leads to fantasy. The triangle's greatest lesson may be that mystery itself drives human progress. When aircraft crashed due to wind shear, we didn't attribute incidents to supernatural forces. We investigated, understood, and developed safety procedures, saving countless lives. Looking forward, the triangle continues serving as a testing ground for new technologies. Advanced sonar, satellite monitoring, underwater robotics, and weather modeling contribute to growing understanding. AI and machine learning offer opportunities to analyze vast triangle data, potentially revealing patterns human investigators miss. Climate change adds another dimension. As ocean temperatures rise and weather patterns shift, the balance creating triangles' unique conditions may change, providing new insights into historical phenomena while predicting future risks. The investigation teaches that known-unknown boundaries constantly shift. Today's mysteries may become tomorrow's routine science, while new mysteries emerge as understanding deepens. Whether triangle mysteries ultimately prove conventional or extraordinary, investigation itself has immense value. Researchers dedicating careers to understanding this region, technologies developed to explore its depths, and scientific principles refined through study all contribute to humanity's growing mastery. Our final report concludes the Bermuda Triangle case remains open, not because we lack evidence or suspects, but because it represents something larger than simple mystery solving. It stands as testament to mystery's power, inspiring human curiosity and driving scientific progress. Case status: active investigation ongoing. The mystery endures, and detective work continues. And with this, we close another case file, though the Triangle case will never be truly closed. Like all great mysteries, it serves purposes beyond providing answers. It challenges us to keep questioning, remain humble before the unknown, and continue pushing understanding boundaries. From documented disappearances like Star Tiger and the C-54, through investigating suspects from magnetic deception to dimensional physics, we've seen the triangle represents something unique, where multiple mysteries converge, creating phenomena challenging our understanding of possibility. Remember, every great discovery began with someone willing to investigate the impossible, question conventional wisdom, and pursue mysteries others dismissed as unsolvable. I'm your host, Ryan Martin, and thank you for joining this investigation into Earth's most enduring mystery. Download Scoob now and keep your detective instincts sharp, scientific skepticism healthy, and sense of wonder alive. Until next time, the investigation continues.